Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Marlene Marks, your host, bringing you the top stories from Israel and the region every Monday to Thursday. And you would really help us out by sharing this content if you're viewing it on Facebook. Last week, Facebook made the announcement that they will be really restricting the amount of political or news type posts on feed. So if you do see this, please help us by sharing this content. Also, you can view us on YouTube and find us at the Israel Brief. And all you have to do to join our growing community is press on the red subscribe button. So without further ado, let's talk news, and it's a big news day. We start with COVID-19 and some exciting news. For the first time in months, Israel's infection rate is under the 1,000 per day mark. This is welcome news indeed as Israel continues with the vaccination rollout process. And yesterday, plans were put forward in the cabinet. They still have to be approved, but what we are expecting is that from Sunday, synagogues and stores will be open to everybody, even people who haven't been vaccinated. However, gyms and malls will be open only to those who have been vaccinated, and that includes museums as well. And it is expected that from March, cafes and restaurants will also be able to open up soon. But what does it mean for travelers? Well, we do have some good news. Starting from Saturday, Israel will allow in 2,000 travelers per day into the country. And yesterday, Cyprus and Israel signed an agreement that would allow for a safe travel corridor between the two countries as long as people are vaccinated. And Cyprus joins Greece as another country where Israelis will be able to travel and where we will be able to welcome tourists from these countries. Really, really welcome news indeed. You know, we are starting to feel here like there could be light at the end of the tunnel. However, with infection still happening, Benny Gantz, the defense minister, has said that there could be a possibility on restricting the amount of people who will be allowed to gather for the festival of Purim that will be celebrated next week. In other news, also welcome news, the UAE swore in its very first ambassador to Israel. Ambassador Muhammad Mahmoud Al-Kaja is due to come to the country and begin his ambassadorship in the near future, and we wish him Bahatzlacha, Mazal Tov, Mabruk, and everything of the best. We certainly look forward to welcoming him here. And in news that can only be described as absolutely historic and astounding and really represents the best of normalization, a new Beth Din has been inaugurated called the Beth Din Arabia that will look after Jewish communities in 6 Gulf states, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, the UAE, Bahrain, and Kuwait. I mean, some of those countries we never thought would have Jewish communities. And this is really incredible news, nothing short of miraculous. And to make it even more international, it will be overseen by Rabbi Eli Abadi. He is a Beirut-born rabbi. So really, really welcome historic news indeed. And our last story takes us to the ICC and the controversial chief prosecutor Fatou Bensouda, who just announced over a week and a half ago that she will be opening investigations into alleged war crimes committed by Israel and Hamas. She will be ending her tenure as chief prosecutor at the International Criminal Court and will be replaced by British lawyer Karim Khan. He is more well known for his investigation into Islamic State crimes in Iraq. And it's very interesting. Will this mean a change of guard, meaning an end or possible end to these investigations into Israel? It is a story that we're going to be looking at quite closely. So those are today's top stories, but don't forget to check out our original content online at our website. You can find us at www.layoftheland.online. It is Child Soldiers Week that will be commemorated all around the world, and I've written an article on how Palestinian children are forced to become combatants, and my expose will be up there shortly. It will also be up on our Facebook page. As I mentioned earlier, Facebook are restricting significantly the amount of exposure of these type of posts. So if you do see it, please share widely. We really appreciate it when you do. And also join our community by liking us or following us. Don't forget that YouTube channel at the Israel Brief, and interact with us on Twitter, where you can find us at Lay of the Land with the digit 5. That's at Lay of the Land 5. So with the Monday edition of the Israel Brief, I'm Rolene Marks, being really happy that we kicked it off with some good news, and hopefully there'll be more of that when we chat tomorrow.